Welcome to Studio D on the campus of the University of Oklahoma. This is Sooner Sports Pad. And now, here's your host, Madeline Roberts.
Hello, Sooner Nation, and welcome to Sooner Sports Pad. This is your first time seeing us in 2018. That's right, new year, but same us. I am your host, Madeline Roberts, and I'm here with my veteran co-analysts, Kenneth, Adair, and Reagan, Ledbetter. And something else that hasn't changed with the new year is our amazing live studio audience, ladies and gentlemen. Guys, who's in there?
Well, we've got crazy kids from all over tonight, all over the University of Oklahoma's campus tonight. Yes, we do.
And we also have two very special guests. We got men's gymnasts, Yul Moldauer and Levi Anderson in the house tonight as well.
Yes, they are. And later on in the show, Reagan and I will decide which team for the University of Oklahoma will repeat with national championships, or three-peat, or four-peat.
And later we'll take a look at Baker Mayfield's journey to the Heisman Trophy ceremony in New York City from our eyes.
Well, since we last saw you, several OU sports have started their seasons and are in full swing, but none have been more dominant than the OU men's gymnastics team. That's right. The back-to-back-to-back national champions have not lost a step this season. On Saturday, the Sooners posted the highest score in the nation in a defeat of Iowa, which was the highest score since the week before, when a certain team defeated Nebraska and Stanford with a score that was the previous highest in the nation. Oh wait, that team was also Oklahoma. They beat their own record on Saturday. Dominant is an understated way to describe the Sooners, who are 3-0 in their meets. These guys are full on obliterating their opponents. Guys, this team has just been absolutely unstoppable. Kenneth, what do you make of their season so far?
Well, you said dominating, you said obliterating. I mean, there's just no stopping them. No matter who you put on the mat with them,
just good.
Whether it's Iowa, whether it's Stanford, I mean, it doesn't matter, or Nebraska. They just continue to thrive on anybody. 2 weeks ago, they put up a 418 flat. That was #1 in the country. This week, they did a 418.85. That is now top in the country. They continue to be the best team. But here's the best part, though. They sat guys out on certain events, which was absolutely impressive. To know that, shout out to OU football, because just like OU football, OU's gymnastics is too deep as well. But one of those guys that sat out, and I think you're going to talk about him. I mean, before we go there, like it says up there, Yul Moldauer wins 2 events. Suzuki wins 3. That's 3. 43rd straight regular season win, and of course, 85th consecutive win. I mean, really?
Head coach Mark Williams said this is the most depth they've ever had, and it's showing right
and
now.
It showed last
Still
weekend.
Winning with guys that aren't the actual
Exactly.
starters.
They sat people out. One of those people that didn't do as much as he's usually doing.
If there is one guy who's been leading the Sooners for the last 3 years, it is Yul Moldauer. His 4th time on the show. He cannot get away from us. Yuli's having another career season with 9 event titles already this year. He had 2 the other night with a 14.5 on the floor and a 14.7 on the rings. And did I forget, he is the 2017 American Cup champion as well.
Yes.
Now he takes a break from NCAA play to head out to Vegas this weekend to compete in the Winter Cup. It never ends for this guy.
I'm gonna bet on him.
NCAA, Winter Cup, American Cup, he can do it all.
When he goes to Vegas, I'm going to bet on him.
Hey, sounds good.
Well, the men's team has been dominant, as you guys said, but another team that's been dominant is the women's team.
Yeah.
And yesterday, Sooner Sports Pad's Kyle Payne caught up with gymnast Anastasia Webb in our brand new segment, Kyle's Corner.
Welcome to Kyle's Corner. I'm Kyle Payne here with freshman stud phenom Anastasia Webb. Anastasia, tell me about the big win today against North Carolina.
I think as a team we did really, really good and just carried on through event, cheering each other on, and just being able to form, and the crowd just helped a lot, and we're at home, so it was good.
So last week you became just the 3rd true freshman in any event in history to score a perfect 10. When you stuck the landing, did you know that round could potentially have gotten you a perfect score?
I honestly did not. I was in complete shock, and my friend Brooke was like, Anastasia, oh my God, you just got a 10, and it was just I had so many feelings I can't even describe it.
And coming out of high school, joining this elite program, what's it like to be around such talented girls all the time?
It's honestly very motivating, and just being able to look up to other girls like Maggie Nichols, AJ, Stephanie, and just trying to be like them just really helps.
You excited for the rest of the season?
Of course.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Well, the women's gymnastics team did have an unusual loss in January to Florida. But guys, they have been dominant ever since. They've maintained their #1 ranking throughout the season. How have they been doing, Kenneth?
Well, they beat UCLA, #4 UCLA 2 weeks ago. and then they beat North Carolina just this past week, being the only team in the country to do it 2 times, put up 198 points in a meet. But they've done it, not twice, they've done it 3 times. Let's just put that out there. Now, I talked about men's dominating, and women's just continue to do the same thing as well. And they did the same thing that the men did. Men won every type of event at the gymnastics meet, and so did women. So that's absolutely exceptional. It's like, whoa, oh, look, I was ahead. Look, swept all 4 events, 35th straight 197 plus score. I mean, that's just incredible. And then tied nation's top scorer, shocker. And then Webb named Big 12 Newcomer of the Week. But she wasn't the only one to dominate because she had a 10.0. But Maggie Nichols, again, shocker, had a 10-point on the beam as well. Perfect 10. So with girls
amazing.
like this
team just continues to get better.
and they're so young, but yet they still are so
Maggie
freaking
Nichols,
good.
Yul Moldauer, the best 2 athletes on the campus, and they both go here
And they're
to OU. Look
easily
at
the
that.
2 best gymnasts in the country.
They're amazing.
So
And Levi. Levi,
Yes.
too. I love Levi.
he's all right.
Well,
he's all right.
the road woes continued for the men's basketball team. Trae Young and the Sooners had an 88-80 loss on Saturday up in Ames. Iowa State pulled away in the end. The Sooners had a 17-point deficit, but tied the game late. But credit Iowa State. They held Trae Young to 3 points in the first 19 minutes. You cannot let that happen. The Sooners have to get better on defense, though. It's really killing them right now. But good news, they are picked as a 4 seed in the mock bracket, and they get another shot to play on the road on Tuesday down in good old Lubbock, so we'll see how that goes.
That's gonna be-
Texas Tech's a very good team this year.
Number 7 in the country.
And then the next Monday, they go to Lawrence to take on Kansas. But Kansas has not been very good at home this year,
No.
so let's pray that something good
They're
happens.
just not having good Mondays.
Yeah, no
They're
kidding.
not.
I think wins against Texas Tech and Kansas are just what this team needs to get back on track.
The-
And I think they can do
The Big
it.
12 is so good right now. It does not, it does not
Absolutely.
matter. All teams kind of cancel each other out right now.
so
Well, we are going to
competitive.
take a break, but when we come back, Reagan and Kenneth will debate where Baker Mayfield will end up next year. Welcome back to Sooner Sports Pad. It is now time for Face Off. Guys, I don't know about you, but I'm going to miss seeing Baker Mayfield play football for the University of Oklahoma. But I'm excited to see where he ends up in the NFL next year. So my question for you is, which team will he be on next year?
Great question.
That's a
I already
tough
missed
question. Okay, I just want to say, first of all, congratulations, Baker. You were an amazing athlete here at OU. You're about to get your statue. Yes. But secondly, I would love to see him go to New Orleans. I think he would be the perfect fit there. But where I think he will go is the Denver Broncos. That's a personal connection to me. I think he's going to go to Denver. This team's not used to losing, and last year they did a lot of that because, well, they couldn't put the ball in the end zone, nor could they get it past the 50-yard line. That was due to a lot of turnovers as well with Simeon. John Elway doesn't like to lose. He loves to win. He's done that a lot in his career, and he's done that a lot for the Broncos. And so I think he's already shown his interest in a guy like Baker Mayfield. He's a playmaker, he's a stabilizer, and he's a guy who is going to get to the ball to these types of guys like Demaryius Thomas and Emmanuel Sanders. I mean, they're such great athletes. And when you have a guy like Baker who can do it on his feet or in the pocket, why not? Why not?
Of
They've already
course
shown
you
their
would pick
interest.
your
Yes.
team.
And plus he'd be there with Von Miller. And that's my guy. I know, and I would know both of them.
He picked his team.
Yes, my team.
Well, a couple weeks ago, I thought for sure Baker was going to the Washington Redskins. Then they went out and shocked the world and their current quarterback, Kirk Cousins, and decided to trade for veteran Alex Smith. Yes, I am still confused about that one. So I've got one better. Baker Mayfield should and will go to the New York Football Giants, and here is why. Because Eli's career is about over, which opens the door for Baker. You pair Baker Mayfield up with Sterling Shepard, the former Sooner, and OBJ. Giants fans will love this. I will love this. Everyone will love this, except for Cowboys fans. But hey, that is okay.
You don't want to see him in Pittsburgh?
No. Big Ben's my guy right now. Baker would not
But I'm
fit in a
saying
Pittsburgh-style
later. I
offense.
was just asking, you know.
Just saying.
He fit anywhere.
New York.
He would do great for the
Final
Browns.
answer.
Final answer.
I gotta say, I love the Broncos, so I'd love to see him in Denver.
Thank you,
bias.
man. Thank you.
All right, well, I'm here with my sister, Lucy Roberts.
Oh,
I know. She has an audience question for you guys.
Which OU team will repeat as national champions?
Great question.
Okay. Now, I talked about this team earlier. I'm sorry, guys.
Debrief.
I know, debrief. But I'm going to have to go with the women's gymnastics team to three-peat. They will three-peat. Now, yes, they lost to the Florida Gators. Shout out to our boy Colin Kennedy. But So did OU softball. OU softball lost a lot in the beginning last year, and look what they did. They repeated. So I'm going to do the same thing for the OU women's gymnastics team and say they're going to three-peat. They're going to dominate this year. They're not going to lose again. I'm calling that. They've already had tough competition. Look at UCLA. They're number 4, and they beat them. I mean, and when they're so young, but they're so good. And when you're being led by girls like A.J. Jackson and that girl right there on being Maggie Nichols, who is next to Yul Moldauer, the #1 gymnast in the country, you're not going to lose at all, especially after they already have once. They're not losing. They are going to three-peat. It's not even going to be close. Not even going to be close.
All right, well, I think the men's gym is actually just automatic, so that's why we did not pick them.
I mean,
so
it's just obvious.
I'm going to have to go with the OU softball team.
Yes.
Head coach Patty Gasso got a hefty raise in the offseason, and it was very deserved. And the Sooners only lost one player, and that was outfielder Macy Hatfield. They returned Big 12 Player of the Year in Shea Knighton, third baseman Sidney Romero, who rakes. Then you have, I believe, the best pitcher in the entire country, and that is Paige Parker. This team is stacked, and they already started the season 4-0 out west in Arizona, already killing it.
Well, I just think it's fair to say we're going to have 2 3-peats and 1 4-peat this season. I believe so, right?
You and Levi are kind of mad at us.
I think so. Hey, it's obvious, okay? Don't get mad
We
at
didn't
us.
forget about them.
No,
They just
we
are going to
didn't.
win. It's
Yeah,
automatic.
we just didn't need to say it.
All right, guys. I want to see your viral videos. First one's of 2018. They better be good.
All right. So usually I don't allow sentimental videos to get to me, but I had to show this one because I've got a personal connection to it. So let's just take a view,
very
shall
manly
we?
guy.
I know. John Collins, star rookie. This kid right here just beat cancer. And he connected with him, signed a basketball, and then that green band you see right there is that kid's. That's a monument of that kid right there. And he chose to wear a little bit of extra gear during his game against the Detroit Pistons. So shout out to this guy for connecting with him. Going out of the way to do that. You don't have to, and to see that, I mean, cancer is such a major issue in this world, and to see
It's
somebody
very easy
do that.
for players to kind of keep their distance from fans,
Yes.
but when you see that, it's really cool.
Exactly.
Cool stuff.
And I took a lot of pride in that. So.
Yeah. All right, well, I would call myself a pretty competitive person, and this video shows just that. But my roommate right here may be the most competitive person that I know, so this video is actually for him. Let me know what you think.
Okay.
Let's roll it.
I'll think about it.
All right, musical chairs, but what does he do? About an eye, pulls it out. Yes! Storms the court!
Yeah, he did.
Storms the court!
Yes. Okay.
You were that guy.
Okay, first of all, let's be honest. I would not do that, okay? I would take it the better route, and I would chunk the chair, push her, and then go get the chair. That's what I would do, okay? That's what I would do, okay? You got to be more reasonable. That was close. You almost lost that one.
You didn't help your cause.
I don't care. I am not losing in that musical chair. I'm sorry. Too
I hope you
competitive.
lose now.
I probably will. I mean, that video does define me, though. I'm surprised,
Okay,
you know,
guys, we're
especially.
going to vote for the winner of Face Off. Cheer the loudest for the person you think won. Who thinks the winner is Kenneth?
Thanks, David. Thanks, David. Thanks, guys. Yes.
How about Reagan? Reagan's was a little bit louder.
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
I know.
Kenneth. He wins this one.
Hey, you lost.
Thanks.
How does it feel?
Well, we're going to take
I'm too
another break,
competitive.
but
Feels
when we come
horrible.
back, we'll relive Baker Mayfield's Heisman weekend.
Special thanks to our cornerstone television partners, Chesapeake Energy, Riverwind Resort, Anheuser-Busch, OU Outreach, and OU Medicine.
Welcome back. In December, OU's very own Baker Mayfield was awarded the Heisman Trophy in New York City. Sooner Sports Pad's Carson Williams and Reagan Ledbetter traveled to the Big Apple to see the star quarterback win OU's 6th ever Heisman Trophy.
I am proud to announce that this year's Heisman Trophy winner is Baker Mayfield of the University of Oklahoma.
After 3 years of following Baker Mayfield around, from countless times on Owen Field to Knoxville, Tennessee to Columbus, Ohio, Carson Williams and I made the trek to New York City for the Heisman Trophy ceremony.
We hopped on Toby Rowland's radio show to preview the weekend, and then we were on our way to the Big Apple. A quick pit stop in Dallas to grab some breakfast, and then we were smooth sailing to New York.
We just landed in the Big Apple, New York City, the city that never sleeps. Ahead of tomorrow's Heisman Trophy ceremony, Reagan, Baker Mayfield has a shot to join OU history as the 6th Oklahoma player to win the Heisman.
Once we got there, we had some time to hang out with other media members and explore the city. We checked out South Central Park, Ground Zero, and Times Square. It was a once-in-a-lifetime weekend for us, but even more so for Baker Mayfield. The Austin, Texas native took the path less traveled. Mayfield turned a distant dream as a kid at Lake Travis High School into a reality here in New York City, becoming the first ever walk-on to win the 83-year-old award.
There's a tradition at OU that second to none, and I've enjoyed playing for them, and because of the tradition and the standards set so high. So for me, I've loved it. I loved every second of it, and just to be in consideration, in a discussion with those guys is pretty special.
It's only fitting that number 6 claims Oklahoma's 6th Heisman Trophy behind a record-setting year and a trip to the college football playoff, Mayfield's second in 3 years.
There have been 5 Heisman winners before him, but none more electrifying and possibly more decorated than Mayfield. As a kid who grew up playing catch in Heisman Park, Mayfield has now planted his statue where it all began.
Thinking about the kids that they go to the tailgates and go to game day, and they just love OU. And so for me now to eventually have a statue there in Heisman Park in Norman, unbelievable.
Consensus All-American.
2-time Big 12 Player of the Year.
Big 12 Championship Most Outstanding Player.
4th all-time in touchdown passes.
5th in total offense.
And 7th in passing yards.
And now, a Heisman Trophy. It's been a wild ride.
Thanks for the memories, 6.
For Sooner Sports Pad, I'm Reagan Ledbetter.
And I'm Carson Williams.
Now let's hear from our guests, OU men's gymnastics Yul Moldauer and Levi Anderson.
Thanks for showing up.
Becoming a common thing. Always see you.
Good to see you. Good to see you.
They can't get rid of us.
No, they can't. It's kind of the reverse, right?
Yeah, true.
After not voting for us.
Yes. Oh, I'm sorry about that. You're still hurt. Anyways, just talk about the season and what it's been like so far.
I mean, every year it's always a new journey, a new team. You start right from the get-go of preseason all the way through to the end of NCAAs. You kind of over time just form a brotherhood with that specific team. Every year is a little different team chemistry. And every year you got to find your rhythm and find what works for that specific team. So, I mean, already it's been one heck of a journey. I'm really, really excited for what's to come.
Great answer,
Yeah, I agree. I think the biggest show we had as a team this year was our identity. We had a lot of younger guys coming in. We had a lot of people that have never competed on the big stage. So just finding each other's roles and being there for each other and helping us push each other in the gym and at competitions, I think that's what we had to find just to find our statue as a team. So throughout these 3 meets, I think we've really found that, and we've really built off in the confidence that we have in each other is unbelievable right now.
Confidence is key. Teams in the country would give anything to get just one national title. You guys continuously win national titles. How do you guys stay motivated to continue to win year in and year out?
It's definitely a culture thing. Mark Williams, our head coach, he's been doing this for a long time. He knows how to make a team a championship team, and he can even make teams that aren't necessarily championship teams. Somehow he finds a way to make that team, like I said earlier, every team's different. He finds a way to make every single team a championship team. And it's not easy at times, that's for sure, but ever since we've been here, we've been bred up on a culture and a tradition here at OU, similar to what Baker said. Expectations are always high, and you never want to lose. That's our biggest fear, is losing. You're like, this isn't happening. We'll do whatever it takes to make sure that we don't lose.
Great answer.
I mean, I always look at it as like you train like you're second. You always got to look forward. If you're first, you don't want to look back at your competition. You want to always train like you're second, looking at the top guy. And if you train like you're second and you're training like you're going to lose, then you're going to win no matter what. And if you train to be better than yourself every day, then no one can ever stop you.
Great.
Coach Madeline Roberts has another question for us.
That's right. Lucy has a question for the two of you.
So who on the team has the best hair?
Great question. That was my idea.
My personal opinion, I'm gonna have to go with Yul the Bull over here.
Wow.
He manages to keep his hair looking spot on every day. I come in pretty much every day looking a little rough, but he keeps it real. His hair is always on point. He actually cuts most of the guys' hair on the team too. So.
Giving out haircuts, Yul?
They are free.
All right, well, it's time for a break, but don't go anywhere. Dynamic Duos is next. about himself, and now Levi will attempt to answer them correctly, so let's get started. Question number 1, what is Yul's favorite team to beat? Is it A, Texas, B, Stanford, C, Iowa, or D, Illinois?
I would say Stanford, but I'm going to go with Illinois.
Illinois?
We have a pretty good relationship with Stanford.
There we go, 1 for 1. Bye-bye, Illinois. Question number 2, which famous actor would Yul most like to meet? Is it A, Will Smith, B, Brad Pitt, C, Jennifer Aniston, or D, Bruce Willis?
Nah, I'm going to go with Brad Pitt because we talked about it when we watched Battle of Troy. That guy's the man.
Brad Pitt,
Pitt's the
let's
man.
see. 2 for 2.
Brad Pitt's the man.
Let's keep it going. Question 3. What is Yul's favorite fast food restaurant? Is it A, Wendy's, B, Raising Cane's, C, Taco Bell, or D, Chick-fil-A?
Raising Cane's? I want to say.
B, Raising Cane's?
Is it Raising Cane's?
There we go. Question number 4. What song does you always sing along to?
I already got
A,
it. I already
Party
got
in the USA,
No.
B, Sweet Caroline,
No.
C, Blue Ain't Your Color,
Yep.
or D, Ice Ice Baby?
Blue
He
ain't
said
your
C
color.
before I even finished the answers. Wow. All right, one last question. What is his favorite sports movie? Is it A, Sandlot, B, Miracle, C, Rocky, or D, Remember the Titans?
It should be Rocky, but he's a fool. He's going to go with like Sandlot or something like that.
A, Sandlot.
Maybe
Let's see if you
Miracle.
can go 4 for 4. You went 4 for 4. How do you feel like you did?
I feel great. I mean, I've lived with him for 3 years now, so I know him just as well as his own family.
All right, well, that's all the time we have for you today. Be sure to like us on Facebook,